This is Steve Curtis, Customer Experience Lead for Columbus Global. I'm here with Stephen Fox and Craig Hamer, and this webinar is focused on using LinkedIn with sales. This is part of the Sales Relationship Insight webinar, and therefore focusing in on Dynamics 365 for sales. This allows sellers and managers to be able to interact with customers, for managers to be able to review sales performance, and for sellers to be able to use both internal and external capabilities to have better relationships with their corporate and private customers. So what we're going to look at today is how Dynamics 365 for sales interacts primarily with LinkedIn and LinkedIn's Sales Navigator function. One of the best purchases when I was working for Microsoft, I think one of the best purchases I saw that Microsoft did was to buy LinkedIn. And what they've now done is they've provided a number of seamless integrations between LinkedIn Sales Navigator and Dynamics 365. Now they've done it for sales. They've also done it in the area of talent management and the new talent management experience, and they've done it in the area of marketing. But what we're going to focus on today is those integrations between LinkedIn Sales Navigator and Dynamics 365 for sales. Now, I'm going to work straight into demonstration. We're going to look at it from the LinkedIn perspective, quickly go into what Sales Navigator is, but then look at how this is viewed within Dynamics 365 for corporate accounts and for individual contacts within those corporate accounts. We're then going to have a quick look at the LinkedIn for leads in Dynamics 365. So we're going to start our view in LinkedIn, and you can see that I'm in LinkedIn Sales Navigator here, and I'm looking at the Contoso brand. This is a Microsoft brand for demonstrations, and you can see that there's a number of different Contoso brands available to us. Now what I can do is I can look at lead and account activity. I can search by geography, by relationship, by company, by industry, etc., etc. I can see that there's, in terms of leads, there's 693 potential individuals and companies with Contoso, and I can start to subset on that. And I can see where the job changes are, who's posted, who's shared experiences. And if I want to, I can go into lead results, but I can also go into account results. These are corporate accounts. And you can see that I've got one saved here, which is the main Contoso brand. So I can drill into that main Contoso brand and start to see information starting to surface with recommended leads of people that I may want to be able to connect to within the Contoso brand. We've got 59 employees. We've got 14 decision makers in here. That's just a very quick view of the capabilities within LinkedIn, where I'm able to start to get leads, do in-mails, start to see news and insight about the brand, and be able to see that relevant information and connect with people and keep an eye on them and their connections. So what we'll do now is we'll navigate over into Dynamics 365, and we'll see how this information is bubbled through into Dynamics 365. So I'm now in Dynamics 365. This is the familiar sales activity social dashboard. Now I could go into my corporate accounts and go into my contacts through the tab over here. I'm actually going to do something slightly different here and use a relevance search and go in and search for the Contoso brand and see what we can find. So you can see here I've got a number of different accounts. I've got contacts in here. I've got leads that are available, etc. So let's start with the view of the corporate account. So I'm now able as a sales lead or as an account manager to be able to go in and look at the Contoso brand, and I can start to see a lot of information about this particular brand, my primary contacts, maybe other contacts within here. But you notice across the top here, there's a tab that says LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And if I now click on that tab, okay, so I've clicked on the tab, and now you can see that in LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it's automatically surfacing the information at the account level and at potential contact levels. So what we can do here we can do matching. It's done a search in LinkedIn Sales Navigator and found 2 Contoso brands that might be a match for our account. So we can match one of those particular accounts, and that does a complete matching of the information in there. I can click back in the profile, and then this gives me a direct link through to my saved lists in Sales Navigator, and it allows me to go in and view that brand directly within Sales Navigator. So clicking in on that drills me out into Sales Navigator as needed for me to see the same information that you've just seen directly in the Navigator environment. But what it's now doing is it's now created a complete link between that company profile, the connections, the news, all the information that might be available for me within LinkedIn Sales Navigator, but it's surfacing it directly within the context of my account within Dynamics 365. The other thing that it's doing is it's starting to surface contacts that may be available for me to be able to use that might work for Contoso or other groups. So my main contact is a guy called Eric Lemieux, and it's searching across this particular account to make sure that it's got as much information on Eric Lemieux himself. Now, these 3 tiles that are available, it's up to you to configure how much information comes through on these 3 tiles and where they are within Dynamics. But again, very, very powerful capability, and a capability for me to potentially go in and say, okay, well, I'm interested in the profile of individuals within here, such as Hilda, and maybe what I want to do is to be able to go through at the LinkedIn area and start to think about maybe I want to be able to do in-mails to these guys. And again, I can do that directly from within the account profile within Dynamics 365 without necessarily having to jump out to LinkedIn itself, although I can do that if I want to. Now, at the contact level, if we think about the way that contacts work, so we've got a profile here for Eric Lemieux as the private contact. What we'll do is we'll click on Eric Lemieux's profile, and that will go into the underlying contact record for Eric. So we hold a full 360-degree view of Eric Lemieux. Now, what we can see as this profile loads is we have the same LinkedIn Sales Navigator capability that's available at the contact level. But in this case, the primary that's over on this side is the member profile rather than the account profile. So what we're doing is we're going and searching on the different contacts and maybe at the leads that we've got, and we're surfacing people who could be a match for the Eric Lemieux that we're looking for. Okay, so now that we've got the member profile, and it will come up with the account profile in just a minute. Here we go. So to come up with the account profile, as you can see, we've already done the matching for Contoso. And if we want to, we can go and search across different people within Contoso and create new contacts automatically within Dynamics 365. We can also do synchronization of those contacts between Dynamics 365 and LinkedIn. Now, my license type with LinkedIn does not allow me to be able to synchronize back from LinkedIn into Dynamics 365, but that is a core capability that you can do to be able to take data from LinkedIn and from Sales Navigator and push that automatically into Dynamics 365 rather than going the other way out from Dynamics 365 into Sales Navigator. The third part I wanted to show you was the way in which it helps you with leads. Now, I can show you some of this, but not all of it, unfortunately. If we go into our leads area and look at sales, you can see that Eric Lemieux interested in new air conditioning units. If we open out our lead that Eric Lemieux has sent through, what we've now got is we've got another tab that's available within this profile called LinkedIn Lead Information. And what that does is if you're using Sales Navigator and you create a lead within Sales Navigator, it can automatically populate that lead into Dynamics 365. So then you can start to work on that lead in Dynamics 365. This is part of the push, if you like, that can happen from LinkedIn and from Sales Navigator in LinkedIn through to Dynamics 365. Now, there are some setup requirements for you to get LinkedIn to work. I'll just step into those very quickly. So if you go into advanced settings, and this is something that your administrator will need to do. So you can see down the bottom here, there's a setting for LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And if we click on that setting, you can then see that there's a few different parameters. It's pretty easy to be able to deal with in terms of your Sales Navigator integration. So, do you want to enable Sales Navigator capability across leads, opportunities, accounts, and contacts? And do you want to get the most recent profile pictures from LinkedIn? And this is where this add-on for CRM synchronization must be activated. So this is a part of your license with LinkedIn and with Sales Navigator to be able to do the synchronization from LinkedIn through into Dynamics 365. But once that's done, it will work completely automatically for you. And this is also then what allows you to synchronize that information at the lead level through into Dynamics 365 so that you can get new leads coming through from LinkedIn. It's a very, very powerful capability to be able to both look at accounts and update those, look at contacts, update those, and potentially then create new leads, understand job changes, etc. from within LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And I'd really recommend that clients who are going down the sales and the relationship management with corporate clients add in the LinkedIn Sales Navigator function and start to use it with Dynamics 365. This is Steve Curtis. I'm Customer Experience Lead for Columbus Global. Please post at the bottom if you've got any questions from this webinar. Thanks very much.